How's it going, everybody? This is Captain 6 Coding, and today we're going to talk about open source software and how do open source software generate money. Open source software is very familiar for many of us these days. It is free computer software released alongside with this code. The person who made the software released it under the license to use, modify, or to distribute the software. Big companies such as Google and Oracle also support open source software. One out of many reasons for people to create open source software is because they simply love coding. But do open source software generate money? How do open source programmers and or companies create an income? Now here are some companies who generate an income from open source software. 1. MySQL, popular relational database. 2. Red Hat, distributor of Linux for server and desktop. 3. WordPress, a widely used blogging platform. So, what's the trick that open source companies use commonly? Dual licensing. Simply, dual licensing is described as a situation where a piece of software can be obtained under two different software licenses. Usually one of these licenses is an open source license, or most commonly known as the GNU, General Public License, and the other is a proprietary license. This means you can choose one from the two or more licenses that you would like to license your software under. Therefore, you only have to abide to the license of your choosing. In example, if a software have two licenses and you choose the open source software license, then for you to distribute the software as a proprietary object is forbidden. In any case, you want to distribute the software, you need to choose the proprietary license. And yes, most of the times, it means you need to pay for the license. Advertisement. Advertisements has been a game-changing factor for open source softwares. For example, we can take a look at one of the biggest social media platforms on the world, which is Twitter. Twitter has been built by open source code from the beginning, but Twitter do get a lot of revenue every year. Based on Twitter's revenue and profits from the last 3 years, Twitter is worth $4.4 billion, as stated by GoBankingList.com. Also, Twitter generated $727 million in ad revenue during the second quarter of 2019, a 21% increase year over year. The company reports total ad engagements were up to 20% year over year. There are also open source software companies who develop free mobile device app, and they would also display in-software advertisements. These ads would sometimes occupy a lot of screen space and would be really annoying sometimes, but since the app or software is free, users do not have much objections against the adverts. And the last possible way for open source software to get monies is from donation or crowdfunding. Crowdfunding means the practice of funding a project or venture by raising money from a large number of people who each contribute a relatively small amount, typically via the internet. There are many crowdfunding platforms on the internet to kickstart the open source project. Here is a list: Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Patreon, AIS, Technolabs. Okay guys, so that is how open source software programmers and or companies generate their money. If you in the future would like to be an open source programmer or you would join an open source software company, you could use one of these few steps that can help you generate money for your living. Okay, so thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos from Captain 6 Coding. And until then, as always, happy coding.